Dear Journal, you know what I was thinking about the other day? Daria. Man, I haven't seen that show in so long, but I loved it. Even though everyone called me Daria in high school. Those sons of bitches. Anyway, it'd be awesome if they made a Daria video game. Man, I bet that would be sweet. Hello?
Hey, Roses, did you know that there's a Daria video game?
This is gonna be the best game in the entire world. Ah, Daria, every teenage misfit girl's hero, including my own when I was a teenager. Considering I have some physical attributes that are similar to Daria, it wasn't uncommon for me to be compared to her. I mean, that's okay, I wasn't annoyed by it or anything. Daria was one of the spin-off shows from Mike Judge's original series Beavis and Butthead, though Judge didn't contribute to the Daria series. Created by Glenn Eichler and Susie Lewis-Lynn, Daria is about a mordant high school student who seems to hold a lot of disdain towards the world. Her best friend is Jane, a slightly less misanthropic artist, her sister is Quinn, a materialistic popular type, and the series also includes minor characters like Brittany the cheerleader, Kevin the jock, and Daria's dysfunctional parents. Being an insanely morose yet intelligent teenager myself, I related with Daria, as did most girls who felt like they didn't fit in with the world. It's a wonderful show. It's a wonderful show that led to one of the worst adventure games I have ever played in my entire life. Dare I say, it may even be worse than Wayne's World for the PC.
Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt.
The game is called Daria's Inferno, and it's appropriately named because I thought I was in hell the entire time.
We're going to hell.
Everything you could possibly want in a Daria game is there. Original voice actors, very similar graphics to the show, so what could have possibly gone wrong? Let me count the ways. Number 1, absolutely terrible storyline, or lack thereof, really. Number 2, poorly designed, and this is not just due to the poor sound leveling. Just walking around the levels is a chore. Number 3, the voice acting is grating.
Oh, it burns!
And finally, number 4. Even though this game has all of the elements to stay faithful to the original Daria series, it presents itself as an obvious cash-in. No effort was put into making this the game it could have been. The game was released in 2000 by Simon & Schuster Interactive, the publishing operation for Viacom. We start the game and everyone is falling asleep in class, including Daria, which I find particularly odd because Daria always struck me as a student who liked to learn, but even she conks the hell out and starts having a nightmare about missing school things?
You must find Ms. Lee's missing junk or endure eternal detention.
So, you're not even gonna give me a story. I just have to go find some stuff.
Follow the clues, Daria. Remember, I am with you. Unless I find something else to do or you start whining.
How convenient.
Follow me, and through your courage, virtue, wisdom, and a cheesy little bag of tricks, you shall save Lawndale High from the purgatory of detention.
That's the entire game, finding weird items in the setting of a nightmare. You're thrown onto a map screen where you can click on nothing except the school, so you'll have to go there first. I was pretty excited to play this, but even the first few minutes of exploration grated on my nerves. Figuring this would hold some semblance of an adventure game, I immediately clicked on the eyeball, figuring it was how I could look at things. So I clicked on it, and this happened.
What's the frequency, Fido? Are jocks and cheerleaders going to the dogs? The Wonder Ears, next on Six Ed World.
Well, okay, that's kinda cool I guess, since Six Ed World is actually a segment in the Daria show. The eyeball is meant to give you a hint. Thank God they chose the eyeball for that, because otherwise, how would I know that there isn't a look option? The fact that there isn't a look feature to view things is something that distinguishes it from other games in the adventure genre. You should always be able to look at your surroundings or at your inventory, but this game decided to skip all of that detailed BS and just let you wander around aimlessly picking up crap from the ground. When the cursor turns into a hand, you can take something. When it turns into lips, you can talk to someone, although I'm not sure why they bothered putting that option in. There aren't too many people to talk to, and even though this game uses all of the original characters from the show, it makes no effort to use them for witty dialogue or engaging conversation. Design-wise, the game is pretty uninspiring. The levels are huge and empty looking, and not only that, I'm confused by the fact that I can't walk on grass. The sound effects have got to be one of the most irritating things about this game, and any game I've ever played. Click on an inventory item and it sounds like you're punching somebody in the face. Usually I like Daria's acerbic tone, but because the game consists mostly of walking around as Daria, her voice seems more monotone than ever, and there's not enough character interaction to contrast her voice, so it becomes incredibly redundant.
I feel like I'm in an episode of This Old Hydrant. The hall is empty. I guess class is in session. I can smell the stench of human defeat. This is getting really irritating.
This game actually doesn't give the show much justice. I feel like if you haven't watched Daria, the game might steer you away with its overuse of Daria's voice. The difference is that the source material showcases many more characters than the ones in the game, so you never feel irked. Speaking of irked, have you run into Quinn yet?
Clogs! Get them away! Get them away!
You'll notice that there are some very bizarre platformer parts of this game. You have an irritation meter in the corner, and if you run into too many people, Daria gets annoyed and the game ends.
Uh-oh. My irritation meter is off the charts.
I'm not sure why they decided to make these characters bad guys that I have to avoid. Instead of talking to Daria's mom, I have to use a cell phone to shut her up so she doesn't affect my irritation meter.
Daria, do you have any? Hello, Helen Morgendorfer.
It becomes so cumbersome not to run into people sometimes. And even when you save them off with a character-specific inventory item, they spew the same annoying dialogue, and most of the time, the volume isn't leveled. As much as I love the cast from Daria, I'd rather not hear them eject crappy dialogue at me at 90 decibels. Although, I could watch Brittany get electrocuted pretty much all day long. Some of the cutscenes actually offer some redeeming factor to the game, but I don't think the unplayable parts of a video game should be its savior, otherwise why are you playing a video game to begin with? One of the most lazy design elements is the fact that they reuse the same cutscene every time you find one of Miss Lee's inventory items and open up a new setting on your map. Every time, the exact same cutscene. I had it memorized by the time I completed the game.
Just what I need. More weirdness. It's Trent, and his Trentmobile.
Hey, Daria. I dreamed I was in your dream.
You still are.
That explains why my guitar is in tune.
I am dead serious. They use this scene at least 4 or 5 times in the game and it never changes.
Hey, Daria. Hey, Daria. Hey, Daria.
I was so excited for this game. I genuinely was. After I had such a pleasant time playing Beavis and Butthead in Virtual Stupidity, I was really hoping for another successful licensed game, especially a Daria game, something I loved so much as a teenager. But it's obvious to me that no heart was put into this. I feel bad for anybody who bought it because it's extremely disappointing. The sound design was completely flawed, the inventory system is irritating, the platformer parts are... why are they even there? Kinda makes you want to ask,
Is this some computer geek's idea of a good time?
if there's anything interesting I took away from this game, it's the fact that the show's theme song, which is played during the game's credits, is played in full. Until the game had been released, people didn't realize there were actually verses to You're Standing on My Neck performed by Splendora. Much to my dismay and frustration, Daria's Inferno is not worth a second look.
Leaving? I'll see you in your dreams.